Hello South Africa, I'm Kirosha Kamal, your host for CSIR Connect. It's the day after the 2024 national and provincial elections, and we are coming to you from the National Results Operations Centre, the ROC, located at the Gallagher Convention Centre in Midrand. Our organization has, over the past 2.5 decades, conducted predictions on the national and municipal elections through the CSIR election prediction model. In collaboration with the SABC, the CSIR is once again part of the South African elections utilizing our modeling tool. We take immense pride in being an organization that keeps our country informed and supports transparency in the national elections and beyond. We have a number of CSIR election team staff members at the ROC today, as well as analysts and media houses working diligently until the final result is announced. Some of these experts are joining us on Connect today to highlight our involvement as the CSIR and the fact that for the past many years, our election prediction modeling tool has consistently, almost to the point, predicted the outcome. Let's get into that conversation now. Dr. Slingu, welcome to CSIR Connect. How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Good. Now, this is a massive undertaking. We have just concluded South Africa's 7th democratic elections, and the voter ballots are being counted, as we can see. Please share with our viewers some insights into the CSIR's role during such a massive national activity.
The main role that we play as the CSIR is two prongs. On the one hand, we do social media analysis. We engage or try and get data from social media platforms and aggregate that and indicate what topics are trending and are the sentiments expressed negative or positive or neutral, and so on and so forth. Generally, the public has an interest in that, and our media partner, the SABC, is interested in engaging on that. So that's the one that we do.
Okay.
The second and key one that we engage in is the elections prediction. So what happens is that once voting has closed Wednesday night, as the IEC starts counting the votes, and then they release results that they've certified. We get those results and we do predictions. So the second role of the CSIR is in these elections is to predict the outcome between the time when the first results are released and the time when the final results are certified by the IEC, which is about a period of 3 or 4 days. In the past it was 3 days. I understand this year the certification is going to be on Sunday, and so it'll be about 4 days or so.
Wonderful. Wow, that's a lot of work. Now, when it comes to our overall role in elections and the intricacies of the CSIR prediction model, what should South Africans actually know about our capabilities in this space?
You know, this is a great opportunity for the CSIR to profile its capabilities for the South African public, particularly in showing the public what science, innovation, engineering, technology can do in a very practical sense. In data science, for example, in modeling and the likes, and the predictions, etc.
Wow, thank you so much. And for all the work that you've done here, as well as your team, thank you for joining us on Connect today.
Thank you for having us.
Prof. Deba, I know you're exhausted. Thank you for taking a few minutes of your time to talk to us. Welcome to CSIR Connect.
Thank you, Kirosha. It's good to be here with you.
Wonderful. Prof, now let's delve into CSIR's election prediction model. What does the tool actually aim to achieve by comparing the prediction election results with the actual ones? And then also, what's the purpose of contrasting predictions with real outcomes?
Kirosha, if you look at the scoreboard, what you see is actuals. So as the voting districts get declared, the results come on board. Now, what we have observed is over the years is that the actuals is very different from the final results. So people looking at the actuals sometimes get confused and don't know what the final outcome would be. and that is mainly because the voting districts are declared in a non-random way. And there are three reasons why it's declared in a non-random way that I can think of. So one is that smaller voting districts tend to be declared faster than the larger voting district because it's easier to count the number of ballots in the station for smaller voting stations. Then the second reason is that voting stations in the urban areas tend to declare much quicker than the voting stations in the rural areas. And then the third is that because there's a verification process that happens with the IC at each of the stations, sometimes IC holds back some of the results. And actually, as you could see this morning, 3 o'clock we would have received our 5% of voting districts declared, but up to 9 o'clock, we were still struggling with under 1% of the voting district declared. So you can see things happen, and therefore what you see on the scoreboard is different from the final outcome. Now we bridge that gap. We have created a model, the CSR election prediction model, where we are using the actual data that's coming in. So with as little as 5% of the voting district declared, we can predict what the final outcome would be for each of the political parties. So with that, they can understand more or less how the parties will end. But it's not only for the public, it's also for the political analysts. They have much more information with this. It's also good for journalists as well.
Indeed, you've mentioned that the CSIR is bridging the gap despite all of the delays, and that's thanks to people like you and our epic CSIR team. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you for all the hard work. All the best for tonight.
Thanks, Kirosha.
Dr. Dauraj, welcome to CSIR Connect. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. How are you, Kirosha?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us on our show. Dr. Dauraj, as you know, the CSIR has been contracted by the SABC to provide election night predictions for the 2024 elections, together with analysis of social media election trends. Now, can you please talk to us about the CSIR SABC partnership and how it actually helps the SABC's quest when it comes to information dissemination to the public?
Thank you, Kirosha. As you know, that the SABC, it's the 20th year that we've got a partnership with the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. And I think it's been a very good, positive, fruitful partnership. That's the reason we still have them with us 20 years later. We started with the general elections back in 2004, then 2009, 2014, 2019, and obviously we're here again 5 years later. Then we worked with you guys with the CSIR in local government elections 2006, 2011, 2016, and the last one was 2021. And I believe we're still with you guys for the 2026 South African local government elections as well. So that in itself will tell you how good it has been working. It's like a symbiotic relationship between yourselves and us as the public broadcaster, the SABC. And I think why this relationship is working is that people automatically trust the public broadcaster. Whatever information we put out there, people automatically trust it. And the accuracy levels of your team at CSIR, especially the prediction model, people watch for it. Just today I was monitoring social media. Everybody's doing some kind of analysis or prediction model, but everybody's waiting for the SABC to speak.
Yes.
We don't necessarily want to be first on the scene. We want to be absolutely accurate. And you guys are normally very, very close to the actual election results, a few days after voting ends and the counting ends as well.
Yes.
So I think that is the main motivation for us at the SABC. We don't necessarily want to be first on the scene. We prefer getting things right and then breaking the news to South African audiences across 19 radio stations, across 4 TV channels, and of course over our digital platforms as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Wow, the partnership sounds amazing, and I know that it is a two-way process as well. Now, take us through CSIR's activities on election night, which was actually last night, including releasing predictions directly into the SABC database.
So as you know, Kirosha, we've been here since 2 in the morning. Professor Pravesh Deba and myself, we thought that most of the VDs would have been declared like previous elections, but of course with these elections there were a couple of changes. We had 3 ballots, we've got the introduction of independents, but most importantly we've got this thing of the Section 24A thing, being injected into the entire system. So obviously there were long queues last night, voting stations closed late, so I think that precipitated those delays. Normally we'll get the results in the first few hours after voting closes at 9 o'clock, but of course that was delayed. Then we saw from 5 o'clock onwards, the IEC began releasing all those results. So those VDs began feeding their information into these boards that we have been seeing behind us the entire morning. So I think that excitement is there. And that excitement will last for another 2 to 3 days over the weekend. We expect the results to be officially declared on Sunday morning. So I think that partnership between yourselves at CSIR and the SABC is going to be a very, very strong one, a very close one. We're going to rely on you, you're going to rely on us. We just came off the set of a live TV interview where Professor Deba spoke about the predictions thus far for 6 provinces, for national. I'm not going to comment about the actual results that you guys are predicting, but you guys always get it bang on. So I think that is the main motivation behind what we do and what you guys do.
Thank you. I guess the success is owed to people like you. You've had a long day, you've got an even longer night ahead. Thank you for taking time to talk to us, and all the best for the rest of this evening.
Thank you, Kirosha. The pleasure was mine.
Prof. Boyson, welcome to CSIR Connect. I know it's been a very long day. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Such a pleasure.
Prof, I want to first speak to you now as a political analyst. Please, can you share how the CSIR prediction model has actually guided you in your elections commentary?
Yeah, it really, in my experience, gives one a massive edge in getting into analysis. I find while other journalists, other analysts around me still say, we wait, we pause, we want to get more clarity. I say, but you don't understand the CSIR model. No one doesn't prematurely get you clarity and trends, lines when they're not that clear yet, but one knows when the point comes when those lines start converging. And I know exactly what it means, and what I know is that going to be pretty on target as to the final result.
Wow, now that is indeed validation, especially coming from someone like you. Now tell me, Prof, what has been the most valuable finding for you when it comes to the prediction model?
It is that clarity, while there is still so much seeming uncertainty hovering. You have that clarity, that certainty, and you think in today's context, while other people are thinking, what are the trends going to be? What are the results going to be? Given there are a few points of margin of error, potentially. But I could start going, I was talking to political parties about, this is your shortfall to 50%. What are you going to do? Who are you considering when it comes to coalitions? That type of research. I could start doing that while other people are looking for results.
Wonderful. Now, I know you've got a lot of interviews lined up. I want to thank you so much for joining us on CSIR Connect, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much. All the best.
The CSIR is committed to supporting engagement, transparency, and access to information. Breaking through geographical borders, our election prediction modeling tool can be tailor-made for any country or election process. Going beyond election, CSIR's election prediction modeling tool can be customized for any form of prediction analysis and forecasting required, including potential business results. Impressive, right? As we wrap up our Connect conversation today, the verdict is clear. In deploying our highly acclaimed election prediction model during this year's elections, the CSIR is illustrating our phenomenal capabilities in the areas of mathematics and statistics. Further, we are consistently earning our merit as a leading scientific and technological research organization in Africa and a global competitor too. On that note, I'd like to thank our guests for joining us and to you for watching.